Oh boy. Hey guys. I was able to walk again, so I decided to get out, and this is something I threw together last night. This rod I've had, it's a Quantum Trax tech sensor shaft for your comfort construction. It's a medium action fishing rod. The reel is a Carbon X 2000, and I have it spooled with some 6-pound test braid. So this has got about the same diameter as 1-pound test. I'm using the Castmaster again. I switch hooks out and use a single hook, and I made this stainless steel leader up, nylon coated stainless steel, so that the fish can't bite through. And these things got teeth like razor blades. So I put that, clean that up real good, and this thing should really cast amazing. 7 foot. Is that what it says? Yeah, 7 foot. Here they put. This is the first time this rod has seen the light of day. You can't even see. Here we go. 7 foot medium action, 2-piece HQ M6. Lure weights 1/4 to 3/4 ounce. It says line weight 8-pound to 17-pound test. So I'm well within the limits of this rod, and just slightly over the limits with the fishing line. Of course, I sprayed this with Real Magic, the line treatment, and this thing should cast incredibly well because of how light the line is. I think I saw something just turn surface. So again, the thing that's here is snapper bluefish. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. And anybody I talk to is talking, Jaws is over there. And I don't know if you ever heard the story about that old hammerhead shark. His name was Old Hitler. Believe it or not, was supposed to be a gigantic. Yeah, I'm seeing fish bouncing around. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this can put them out there. I see fish jumping. It could be them peanut bunkers. Those, I guess that's what, peanut bunkers. Yeah, this seems to work pretty well. Longer cast means that you're covering more water. And this lure is slightly heavier than the one I was using the other day, which it rides just under the water, which is what you want. You want it just below the surface. Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. The way that throws. Holy mackerel. It's quiet here for Saturday. It's warm, almost hot. Everything is super soaked and saturated with humidity. I can't stand I just can't stand it. Everything in my apartment is soaking wet. Everything. And they got air conditioner, but all that does is pull the water out, and it comes through the vents, literally soaking the apartments. And then you talk to staff and they get all indignant and crazy on you. So, wow, that puts them out there. So with this, I could handle anything that's in this place. Watch, something tears my tackle apart right now. I could handle anything that swims through here. The The biggest I've seen them snappers, I don't think they were half a pound. That's it. And again, we're talking, I got 6 pound test for a half pound fish. Spinning reel, that's different than the conventional reel. This one, and the spool oscillates, which lays the line on the spool properly. But the weakness is it twists the line. Every time that turns around, it puts a twist in the line. So I had to make sure, I can't even see the end, there it is. I had to make sure that I had a swivel on that so that that would release some of the, wow, that's really something. Now, if they ain't biting, they just ain't biting, so I'm feeling real weak today, real super weak. As a matter of fact, I didn't think I was going to make it down here. I felt a bump, but that could be going through a little school of fish. And this lure is about the size of one of them peanut bunkers, so holy mackerel. I don't want to walk over there. I'm too dizzy to be walking over there right now. Gotta walk on flat ground. But yeah, I was watching the bunch of stuff last night, Loophole Lawyer. I left those links in there, and he's pretty darn good. He's a little sarcastic, but hey, look at what's happening with that case. Look at this. And they leave this rope laying all around here. People are so careless and such swine. Look, they leave all their garbage behind. Jeez. Yeah, that's the best fishing equipment I get to see down here. People come down here to get drunk, stoned, canoodle in the parking lot. Wow. The name of this lure is called the Cast Master for a reason. It's aerodynamic, which means it should be hydrodynamic. Yeah, a lot of stuff for a stupid fisherman, right? So, it looks like there's 2 people and that could have taken that cop's life. And again, he chose that life. That cop chose to become a cop. And that's who he wanted to hang out with, was dirtbag cops. And look what happened. A cop, they just can't control that bloodlust. They can't. I sent Joe a link to a video in New South Wales. How they beat mentally challenged woman. She was in the street, sitting down, naked, and they look like brown shirts. They look like the old pictures of the brown shirts. They're stomping this poor woman and kicking her and laughing, and they're spraying her body with mace. So these clowns, New South Wales, supposedly went to jail for that. So, if I remember, I'll leave that in the links. And you can look at that. And again, these people are so damn slow. I keep trying to tell you this isn't just a local problem. This is worldwide, that these cops have totally lost their minds. That piles them out there. That they think that they can rob and abuse the people that pay them. How did they forget that? And if you ask one of these stinking mutton heads who pays them, well, they have no idea. And they remember, these are the same morons that put their hand on whatever book it is, the Quran, whatever the heck, the Dead Sea Scroll, who knows, and swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. First words out of their mouth is a lie. The very first time they committed an offense, they should lose qualified immunity and be charged with felonies. You know, and domestic terrorism, lying under oath. Oh man, it feels like I got a load of garbage on this, or it's coming in sideways. I had to, there was called a wind, W-I-N-D, wind loop. What the heck? I should be filming the other way over here so you could see these, the moronic behavior. Oh, they got that boat loaded up with crab traps like they're going to Alaska. Yeah, it came in crooked. See, that's what the bottom is covered with, all of this muck and silt. Crazy.
You threw it in the water.
In the water. In the water. Oh my God. That's a nice little rig. I'd get rid of all of that garbage in there and definitely be on the reservoir. Fresh water. It's perfect. That'll handle almost anything freshwater. Grumman. Same people that make the aircraft, so they know about aluminum and rivets and bonding panels. Yeah, so Karen Read, how they plotted against her for her to lose her life, her freedom, is crazy. And then to brand her as a pig killer? Holy mackerel. That's how treacherous and duplicitous these cops are. So it's the guy that owns that house where the body was found, right by his out front of his bedroom window, and Higgins sneaking around. ATF, so he thinks he's Rambo, and they did that cop in. So hopefully, it'd be nice if the government would treat these people like they treat everybody else. And what's the normal sentence for somebody that kills a police officer? You know what it is. The big sleep. You think they'll put this cop to sleep for killing another cop? Or you think he'll get a sweetheart deal and they'll do just like I said? What they're going to do is they're going to blame the dog. And they panicked and they didn't know what to do. Watch. Nobody's even brought that up yet, but I'm sure one of them defense attorneys is thinking about it. And who the heck is paying for their attorneys? Are they? Or are the taxpayers paying for their attorneys? Man, that thing really puts them out there. It just doesn't seem like these fish are here today, or That's why this area sucks. And I don't want to fish the bottom. I normally don't fish with, baits like meats or whatever, chickens or guts or fish or whatever. I always use lures rather than use meats. You throw that out there, these crabs will be all over it. And you'll be looking at really, and these crabs just ain't worth it. They're supposed to be the best crabs in the world, are these blue claws. From here down by Maryland, they're just very highly prized. So he's got that little Merc all fired up. That's a nice little boat. Yamaha Cruiser Wave Runner. That's nice too. I'd be fishing on that. Wonder if you could put. Man, I smell gasoline big time. Oh no, that little Merc. That little Mercury. The wind is blowing in my direction, and that's the gas fumes. See, this is casting far enough. I mean, I'm like a little more than a third of the way across here. Maybe a quarter of the way across. So that's covering a lot of water. Oh, what the heck was that? That felt like something. And I have the smaller ones here. I have a smaller size than this, but it keeps breaking the surface. And that's not what I'm interested in. And Sean Reyes, with that Fahey case, man, the state is doubling down. And you see that video, and you can see that Fahey is a psychopath. Any psychologist, any psychiatrist that could look at that film, that video, and say, no, this guy's totally all right. He's, he's not a psychopath. He's not violent. Threatened Sean. What the? There we go. I got one. There we go. We'll see. We'll see. It feels like a fish. Certainly does. Yeah. Wow. Here he is. That's the big, I'm telling you, these hooks, and that's the saltwater fish. They don't stop. There. Now I'll take him and flip him into the water. Get him back in there. Good, he slowed down a little bit. Come on. This thing's got teeth. And he's fine. He's fine. Trust me. So, that's, I think, the first one that I actually had the camera on that you guys got to see. And that's another problem. So, jeez. Yeah, well, whatever. There you go, the old fisherman's handshake. So and again, that was about as big as they get here. And I'd certainly like to whack something and much bigger than that. So I know what I'm doing. This is a beautiful little setup. I got to thank you guys. I'm so happy that happened. Let's see if they're going to make the same mistake twice. Put it out there. Boom. Wow. That's right out in the channel. And I see them jumping around out there. And if I keep the tip of the rod a little closer to the water, the lure runs a little bit deeper. And those hooks that I use, those single inline hooks, those things are razor sharp. And I use whatever premium hooks I can get my hands on. Owners are one of my favorites. VMCs are good. Gamakatsu are very nice. Man, holy mackerel, that chucks that a city block. Half a block at least. So one little snapper blew. Fell for the old reliable trusty Castmaster. Oh, this time I shut all the alarms off. If the phone rings, again, you notice some of these videos end. It's either because an alarm went off on my phone to, take my blood pressure med, and it just shuts it. Again, it just shuts everything down so that you hear the alarm over everything. Man, this thing can throw them. There you go, see that? Got the cigarette hanging out of his face. Yeah, boy. Way to go. Got the boat, look at that. Deadliest catch. He's got the boat rigged up with crab traps. Whew. He's gonna go out and get some of them king crabs, them Alaskan kings. Well, yeah. They'll argue here, then they'll go out in the water and argue. Oh my God. Boom. And it hits. That's how far out it is that you got to wait for it to come out of the air. They're out there. I see them jumping, but don't seem like they're really interested. He's coming back in. Captain Ahab's bringing her back in.
Gotta get her back. And the bungee.
And this Castmaster is working its little butt off. Let me put this here real quick. Yeah, real quick. I don't think that word exists when you get old. Real quick. So take that. The only thing I have to do is open this thing up. There's my rag. I keep that around. And I use that at last resort because if I got to use it to cover up a cut or something, I'm in good shape. It's, still clean enough that I don't have to worry about getting rabies or botulism from these fish. Okay. This is a knockoff, actually, of a Hopkins. Yeah, I can't even see anymore. And again, I'm not sleeping right. I gotta get some help with that. I mean, all these. So that's just a little bit smaller. Let's see if they want something just a little bit smaller. And whew, you can't even see them things. We'll go just a little bit smaller.
turkey farm.
That's over here, right?
Now the turkey farm is
It's
Bar?
yeah, just Google it. It'll give you directions right there.
The turkey farm?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Turkey farm.
Don't worry.
Got the paddleboard dogs out. That's a blonde. I'd be afraid to get exposed that much skin. I'd fry like a piece of bacon laying out there.
Get on.
They don't seem to be interested in this one either. Let's truck it this way. So the state with the Sean Reyes case, Fahey's a lunatic. Fahey and a bunch of his cohorts left immediately after that. I mean, look, they shot their mouth off like they're real badasses, and they're psychopaths. So you gotta, concede that they're bad, they're nasty, they're vulgar, they're inhuman, they're crazy people. So Fahey shot his mouth off, and he's going to do this and that. And he's got all the local government behind him. So they filed charges against Sean, voyeurism. That's a felony. See, they know how to set you up. What do they say? They can dish it out, but they can't take it? That's how all of these cops are. So I think 4 or 5 of them ran out the door with Fahey. And they're going to get to the bottom. According to Sean, the FBI are investigating that. That doesn't mean anything. But you would think the government would start throwing some of these bad cops under the bus as a sign of good faith that our tax dollars aren't going for nothing, which they are. Our tax dollars are to pay for a bloated government. You see the roads are falling apart, everything. Crazy, school, you name it. The businesses are going under. Just crazy. I see him jumping. Man, this thing could throw a mile. That's out there with him. Yeah, taking those fish off the hook is, the bigger ones, you got to be real careful. I'm telling you, they will take a finger. I just felt another bump. This is wiggling around nicely enough. Yeah, that's out there. So, Sean definitely has a good lawyer. The state is out of their minds. And this is going to cost taxpayers a fortune. Again, I don't know how many state cops. Well, we know there's probably 5 of them at least that ran out. Fahey and 4 others ran out the door. So, they're good. What the hell? Assholes, man. Everybody's got to be out here screaming and farting and a bunch of savages cursing at their wives. That's interesting. Small motor. Boy, I bet you that thing can handle a lot bigger motor. About 22-foot Excel. It's got a Yamaha something on it. This is crazy. We got 31 minutes here. If you stuck around this long. Oh, here we go. Here you go. You're getting all of that. Wow. That must be brand new. Nice and quiet. Beautiful. Oh yeah. That sounds angry. Yeah, I'll bet that's a rocket. There's a YouTube site that I check in on every now and then. It's called Jet Ski Brothers. They put a Chevy LS, a modified Chevy LS, into one of those. And the thing is just insanely fast. And just think about it. A Chevy LS, a V8 car motor, and a jet ski. So Fahey figured he was going to run out the door. And he had his job lined up with the Indian Reservation Gambling in Connecticut. That he was going to, be in some kind of position there, security, something. I mean, he's robbing people as a state trooper. What do you think he's going to do in a casino? But I guess the Indians on that reservation saw some of the videos. Somebody got them the videos. And they said, man, we don't want to touch this piece of garbage. They'll wind up suing the casino. And casinos are into it for making money, not giving it out. Ever. You think you won? What do they say? The first one's free. And now I guess the tide's still coming in. The way that boat's facing, that's where the tide comes from. The tide comes from up that way, down this way. Yeah, this rod and reel is behaving very well. Last night I just took some of my tools and said that this one should be on here, and all the specifications match up on this, and you can see it works pretty well. I wonder how much. Tighten that drag up a little. Yeah. Wow. And I just put the computer on my bicycle. Amazon had a sale. It was like $8. And again, digital stuff has come a long way since I got that mountain bike. A long way. And that mountain bike, again, is a handmade, right on the frame, Cannondale. Handmade cross country. That bike is made to go across the country. And what I did to it, holy mackerel, Marzocchi hydraulic front end, absolutely beautiful. No rear shocks because they didn't even think of putting shocks on them yet. As a matter of fact, the head tubes on the bicycles, they didn't get around to figuring out a standard size head tube. So everybody was going wild. Each bike company had a different size head tube. That just makes it tough on the consumers. And Freeman was attacked by, what's his name, Nolan, that Sheriff Nolan. So I don't know how long Nolan's going to be there. Some of these guys are very effective, especially when they got huge platforms like Sean Reyes, like Freeman, like Johnny 5-0. When you got platforms like that and you got hundreds of thousands of people and you're doing a live and these people are watching. There's a little wind knot. You gotta pay attention to that. I must pay attention to that. So that's probably another lawsuit. And these cops they're nasty, they retaliate, they're violent, they're literally psychopaths. So, a couple 100,000 million, whatever the heck the settlement's for, they don't care because it's not coming out of their pocket. Because the people we elected in our local governments are giving these cops carte blanche to do whatever they want, like that New South Wales thing. So I think they said to one cop, they were talking a 5-year prison sentence. For what they did, New South Wales is really limp on laws, really. What they did to that woman, 15 years. 15 years, no parole. 15 years, that's what you get. And you put them in with the most violent offenders, you know what I'm talking about, to make sure that they get a taste of their own medicine. And just like Brian says, everything they have should be forfeited because the government wouldn't bat an eye. They don't. When it comes to literally taking your life. They'll take everything you own and take your life. And, oh, well, you should have thought about that before. That's what they tell you. Well, these cops should have thought about it before. People say bad things about these auditors. Oh, you put your camera right. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it happen yet where they're sticking the camera in anybody's face. It's usually some disgruntled maniac walking right up. Oh, yeah, look at this. And they're such proud little boys, and the Karens are so schizophrenic, my God. And the guy trying to film reality, he's out of his mind. Yeah, these cops, anything they do, they should be charged with domestic terrorism. They swore an oath. You should have thought about that before. That's it. See, that's why I hate fresh water. Salt water. Again, I'm thinking fresh water. It's going through my mind. Fresh water, I could at least be picking away at sunfish and some small panfish if I had to, and they're delicious. They really are. Such a nice, light, beautiful, and they're fried. Oh man, crispy. Loads of salt. At least you could survive. And again, worst comes to worst, you could drink the water. Salt water, go ahead, drink it. You'll be crazier than a cop. That was actually past that boat. I was fishing Round Valley years and years ago. And a lot of people fish from the shoreline over there. There's big trout in there. And I've caught quite a few big trout from Round Valley. So I was over there one day, early morning, and this guy pulls up his boat. See how far this guy is in front of me? About that far. And I could cast right over the top of that. Right now I could cast over that. And he pulls up right in front of me. I'm standing on the shore. You got a boat. You got that whole reservoir, miles of water, and you got to park right here in front of some guy standing on the bank. I took out a bigger sinker weight out of my tackle bag, put it on, and let it go past. That's them stinking wind knots. Jeez, come on. Come on. That's the only. This line is so limp and supple. And that gets to be a problem too. If you're running a lighter. Oh, look at that. Cool. There you go. Jeez. Well, it's slow here, guys. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Hopefully there's no commercials in here, I hope. Because YouTube is punishing the hell out of everybody, creators and viewers alike. Every couple seconds there's a commercial. So, I'll let you guys go. Thank you. If you so desire, hit the thumbs up. I certainly do appreciate it. Thank you. The reason I'm out here is because you guys give me support. So thank you so much. I will talk at you later. 42 minutes. Have an uneventful day, folks.